Deputy Head of Mission-Consul, Embassy of the Kingdom of Spain, other representatives from the Embassy, Professor Dyer Narinesingh, President of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Vashti Singh, Program Leader, Center for Education Programs, UTT, Ms. Gail Barnard, Curriculum Officer, Modern Languages, Curriculum Planning and Development Division, Ministry of Education, Dr. Francisca Allard, Program Leader of the Spanish Department, Center for Education Programs, UTT, members of the media, teachers and students of the Canaan Presbyterian Primary School, Karapichaima RC Primary School, San Fernando Girls Primary School, and the St. Peter's Private School, colleagues and well-wishers. Buenos días y bienvenidos a todos al Teatro en Español de la UTT. Good morning and welcome to the UTT Spanish Theater. Me llamo Arti Pasar y soy profesora de español en UTT. My name is Arti Pasar and I teach Spanish at UTT. And I have the privilege of taking you through today's program. Today is a very special day for us. I would say an emotional day. Because for a long time we have been nursing the idea of having a grand performance like this, where students and children can come to us. And after many years of toil and hard work and a lot of stress, we are finally here. The wheels of the Spanish theater have been turning since 2010. The Spanish theater group comprises B.Ed students who are student teachers and lecturers of the Spanish department. What do? We create plays that are child-oriented and perform them across schools in Trinidad and Tobago. Over the years, we have performed in over 25 schools throughout the country, including Tobago. And we are always invited to perform at the UWI's Intercampus Foreign Language Festival. In fact, we performed at this festival last month to a packed audience and with rave reviews. From the very first school visits, the department and our student teachers recognized the mutual benefit of these performances to the primary school children and our students alike. It was seen as an excellent form of community service, where students not only contribute to the community, but they also get an opportunity to put into practice skills, content, and ideas that they gain. For this reason, the theater has become an annual activity on the department's calendar. This year is particularly special since it marks the 400th death anniversary of the great Spanish author Miguel de Cervantes. In this light, the Spanish Embassy in Trinidad and Tobago has collaborated with us to commemorate this momentous occasion. And what better way to recognize this occasion than through theater? Before getting into the plays, there are a few key people who we would like to invite to bring greetings. To start us off, I invite Dr. Vashti Singh, Program Leader of the Center for Education Programs, UTT, to deliver the welcome address. Dr. Singh?
All protocols observed. It is also my esteemed privilege this morning to welcome you to the Spanish Theatre Project 2016, created by the Bachelor of Education students in conjunction with the Spanish team of instructors at the Center for Education Programs, the University of Trinidad and Tobago. As previously mentioned, our theatre group has been in existence for the past 7 years over the period 2010 to 2016. The group started as part of a final project in one of the Spanish courses where student teachers created plays that could teach Spanish and also reinforce materials used in this primary school curriculum. The plays cover a wide range of topics, from road crossing safety to the stages of the life cycle of the butterfly. Our student teachers design and make their own costumes and props. From the first school visits, which took place in North Trinidad, the Spanish team of instructors recognized the benefit of performances to both primary and university students, and the roving Spanish theater group became an annual activity at the Center for Education Programs at UTT. This year marks the 400th death anniversary of the great Spanish author Miguel de Cervantes. As such, the Spanish Embassy in Trinidad and Tobago has requested collaboration with the University of Trinidad and Tobago to commemorate this occasion. Our Spanish team of instructors welcomed the opportunity to recognize the occasion through performances of its ongoing roving Spanish theater. Why the word roving? Roving is used to describe the theater that travels with creativity to suit the needs of different places rather than stay at a fixed place. In the past, the theater group has visited a wide range of more than 16 schools across Trinidad and Tobago, including Castara Government Primary, Toko Anglican Primary, and the Tunapuna Hindu School. Since the theater has never ventured to schools in South Trinidad, SAPA was selected as the venue this year, a venue large enough to accommodate many primary school pupils. The plays are intended for a primary school audience, and they also have immense universal appeal to the Spanish language as an international and regional medium of communication, indicated through feedback from foreign language festival organizers, stakeholders in education, and the wider Caribbean society. The Center for Education Programs welcomes collaboration with both the Spanish Embassy and the Spanish Curriculum Division of the Ministry of Education. We view this collaboration as necessary to the future success of the roving Spanish theater, and by extension, promoting outreach activities as a pivotal part of the University of Trinidad and Tobago's vision and mission. I take this opportunity to congratulate the student teachers and the Spanish team of instructors at the Center for Education Programs for their hard work, commitment, and dedication to the rapid progress of the roving Spanish theater. I trust that everyone, and in particular our primary school pupils, will enjoy the performances. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Gracias, Dr. Singh. I now invite Professor Dyer Narinesingh, President of the University of Trinidad and Tobago, to bring greetings.
Thank you very much, Chair of this morning's proceedings, right? This is Arati Prasad, Senior Instructor at the Center for Education, UTT. I ask for forgiveness now, right? So I would want to put protocols in the waste paper basket, right? And proceed directly. Sincere apologies, right? I want to welcome all of you here this morning on behalf of the Board of Governors, the staff and students, in fact, the entire UTT family, to this very, very important function. I want to especially welcome Ms. Belén Yuste, Deputy Head of Mission-Consul, Embassy of the Kingdom of Spain. Very special welcome to you and other members of the embassy. In keeping with our philosophy, what we are seeing here this morning, colleagues, and I will tell you that I feel very, very comfortable and moved when I see young children in front of me. I prefer to speak to the young children of Trinidad and Tobago, and therefore this is a very special moment for me. So very special welcome to all of you young ones. And it just reminded me of a statement that I had seen a while ago, that when, and I want you to listen very carefully, and we have teachers in front of us, when a surgeon, medical doctor, makes a mistake on an operating theater, one person dies. But when a teacher makes a mistake in a classroom, a whole generation dies. Very powerful statement, right? So we'll talk a little about that later on. The University of Trinidad and Tobago is very pleased to be collaborating with the Embassy of the Kingdom of Spain to commemorate the 400th anniversary of the renowned Spanish author Miguel de Cervantes. But what you are seeing here, therefore, is in keeping with the philosophy of the University of Trinidad and Tobago. We have present here representatives from the embassy. We have from our tertiary level institutions, we have primary, and we have other stakeholders. And I keep saying that the only way that we can have a strong University of Trinidad and Tobago, a strong Trinidad and Tobago, is when all the stakeholders come together with one common objective. And we are seeing part of that here this morning. We have representatives from the educational sector. We have the embassies. We want to bring together the private sector and, of course, the public sector in general. And it's only when we work together could we really move our society forward. In fact, just last Friday, we cooperated with the US Embassy, and we had a concert. And it's a pity that many of us were not present at that concert, for children with disabilities. And we had our lecturers from the Academy of the Performing Arts, so it's almost similar in nature to what is happening here, who would go out to these various schools and work with these young children with disabilities to bring some sense of hope into their lives. And I would tell you, as I sat there for 3 hours, tears really was flowing through my eyes for the entire 3 hours. Then it struck me that we who are more fortunate, right, takes things for granted. And there I saw children, just as you, beautiful smiles on their face, cerebral palsy, they're on wheelchairs, and they are there enjoying themselves. And I mention this as I see so many of these young children and their teachers with them, the more fortunate ones in society. So we have been cooperating with the embassies in achieving our strategic objectives. Cervantes is widely regarded as the greatest writer of the Spanish language. His legacy continues to live on as his works are still used as a benchmark in many literary circles in both Spanish and English language. And today, the University of Trinidad and Tobago, through the Spanish Theatre Project, recognizes his contribution and the impact he has made as one of the world's preeminent novelists. But as I was reflecting when I was coming down this morning, why do we celebrate the life of someone? Why do we celebrate the life of someone? If it has no meaning for us, then it's of no significance. And when I spoke to so many people, they all know the name of Cervantes. Everyone knows it. But did they know anything more about the person so that we can learn from that? How many of us, did he come from a wealthy family? He's one of the world's best known novelists. So what are we assuming? What was his background? What motivated him? So that we in turn can learn from it. And I did a little bit of background reading. I myself, to be honest, did not know a bit of his background. And therefore, why are we celebrating this 400 years later? We know of his great works. In fact, his influence on the Spanish language is such today that the Spanish language is often referred to as la lengua de Cervantes. Right? I mean, that is, an honor. But how many of us knew that in 1571, as a poor young man, he joined the Spanish Navy, and he participated in the Battle of Lepanto. That's a clash between, I know of the history though, of the Catholic states in Western Europe and the Ottomans, of course, from Turkey, fighting, of course, for control of the Mediterranean. Most of you would know of those wars. But what lesson are we getting from that? He was captured by the pirates, the Ottoman pirates, and held in Algiers for 5 years, awaiting a ransom. That's a lesson for us young ones. It shows his state of poverty. His parents could not pay the ransom. But that did not perturb him. Fortunately, his parents were able to link with the church, and they were able to pay the ransom 5 years later. So he was imprisoned for 5 years. And when he came out, of course, he also worked looking for jobs all about as a tax collector. Very simple job. But of course, there were discrepancies in his accounts, so a bit of fraud. And he ended up in jail for 3 years again. Whilst he was a soldier, he was shot. In fact, his left arm was paralyzed. But did he lose hope? Did he abandon? And I want to just quote this. During the battles that he had, he was shot 3 times, and this is what he said. He lost his left hand for the glory of his right hand. He lost his left hand for the glory of his right hand. How many of us in such a condition will make a statement like that? So this is a lesson which I think is more important in celebrating the life of Cervantes. He never lost hope in spite of his conditions. And then he went on to state, and I like to quote here, talking about his wounds in battle. If my wounds have no beauty to the beholder's eyes, they are at least honorable in the estimation of those who know where they were received. And this is the important part. For the soldier shows the greater advantage dead in battle than alive in flight. That is what Cervantes was talking about. And also to show the life that he lived. Very poor family, and he fell in love with a beautiful girl. What's her name here, if I pick it up? Yes. Yes. Josefina Catalina de Perez. And they plotted to run away. A lot of us, young guys, they see a beautiful girl, fall in love, and then we want to run away. Unfortunately, the girl's father became aware of the plan. And that was the end of it. So Cervantes is now on his own. And what did his prospective father-in-law said? The reason why he objected to the relationship was there was no prospect of him rising from poverty. He was too poor to marry his daughter. Colleagues, young ones, these are powerful messages coming from the life of the person that we are celebrating today. It's not only Don Quixote, right? Everyone knows about that. In spite of all the tragedies in his life, so to speak, he was able to overcome those things. And to me, that is what is important for us to be celebrating today. The second aspect of this activity here, I think, is very, very important. And it has to do with the role of theater, the performing arts, the creative arts, whatever term you use, as a medium for teaching in a modern day society. And that is what our student teachers and the roving theater is doing. This is a very powerful thing, and there are 2 dimensions to it. Not only in terms of teaching as a tool, using theater as a tool for teaching or medium, but also the role of theater as an interventionist tool in conflict resolution. And I want to mention very briefly these 2 things. Theater and drama and the performing arts as a powerful medium for solving the problems in our society with our young people today. And this is highly relevant to us in Trinidad and Tobago. Every day we are seeing what is happening in our society. And everyone is proposing sort of solutions, and it seems that we are getting nowhere. You know what I'm talking about. Have we ever thought about using, if we had been using theater as a medium for resolution dispute or in the teaching process very early on in the educational chain, I think today we would not have had the problems we have, right? And studies have been done, extensive studies, to show that theater as a medium, as an interventionist tool in conflict resolution has had positive effects. In fact, what happens is when you are involved in drama, in theater, what it does is it impacts directly on, it builds what you call interpersonal relationships. It helps you to resolve conflicts as they arise. So that later on in life, if these things emerge, it doesn't have the negative effects. So this is what they're saying, and the studies have been shown that in Nigeria, in fact, they are using this as the most powerful tool to overcome the challenges they are facing in Nigeria and a number of African states. And this is something which I would really want to recommend to our educators. But not only things, sports and culture on the whole as tools for very early on in the educational chain to help us resolve the problems. When we understand the importance of the arts, etc., then we are a different type of person, the way we react with each other. So it is very, very powerful. And I want to quote here, the theater is the medium through which the soul of man reaches out beyond itself to transform it. It is the medium through which the soul of man reaches out beyond itself to transform it. That's the power of theater and the arts. But second aspect I want to touch upon here, theater as a medium for teaching. Studies have shown that it's an incredible tool or an incredible learning benefits, especially in early childhood and at the primary school level. But of course, it's also carried out at the secondary and also at the adult learning stages. Very often, especially in developing countries, we tend to dismiss the arts as unimportant. And this has detrimental effect on our educational system later on. And studies have shown that children who learn music actually do much better in maths and science. You know, in today's world, everybody is emphasizing the importance of maths and science in a highly technological world. Now they're showing that students, in fact, who study the arts, music, in fact, do much better in the sciences and math, and also become more meaningful contributors to the society as a whole. And I quote again, theater allows children to develop the tools of the mind or the higher cognitive activities that lay the foundation for future learning. The keeping of the arts separate from other subjects severely limits the potential of our young people to develop. Arts allow students to travel in places of mystery, dream, and adventure. And therefore, we cannot afford, and I'm appealing to our educators, to separate the sciences and the humanities, etc., from the arts. They have to go hand in hand. Doing that, if we fail to do that, then we limit the potential of our young people. And I want to tell you, too, that studies have been shown at MIT, and they always wanted, most of us know of the University of MIT, right? Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the top university in the world. And only the super bright, in inverted commas, go there. They're the only ones who can get in. And yet they were finding out that these very bright students, after 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, boredom seems to step in when the lecturers are in front of the classroom. And they wanted to know why this is happening. And imagine ourselves, you know, in front of the classroom, we are teaching every day. We use different strategies, right? But somehow, this attention span of the students of today's world is so short. And then they observe that these same children, these same students, as soon as the bell rings, so to speak, and they're out there, you see them in the video arcades, you see them in all sorts of things, and the attention span is for hours. Have you seen these young ones in front of the video screens? Parents can't get them out. But yet in the classroom, 10, 15 minutes, that's it. They're bored. And it reminds me of what is happening in the arts and why it is that we should use the art as a medium, the theater as a medium for teaching. What they found is that the brain, and probably a lot of you are bored with me at this moment, right? In the sense that in the brain there are two parts to it that flips back and forth. And if it's not flipping back and forth, boredom steps in. So there's a part of your brain that controls boredom. So if it remains in one mode, so to speak, it's called the alpha mode, boredom steps in. So in the classroom or whatever teaching activity, we have to ensure that this keeps flipping. That's what keeps your attention. And then they went back to the videos, etc., the movies, all of these things, and they observed that the scenery is changing every 10 seconds. Isn't that so when you look at videos? You're not seeing Narinesingh in front of you for 50 minutes lecturing, probably just dictating to you. That's only one frame. And that's why the boredom steps in. And that is why we are now recognizing that if you use theater, etc., drama, etc., the scene is changing very rapidly. So as educators, we need now to bring these things into the classroom. Remember these young ones here. The first people that they see in the morning when they get up is not mom and dad, you know. Right? Who do you see the first thing in the morning when you get up? You're quiet. When we were young, it's our mom and dad, right? Obviously, they're here. Now it's the gospel according to Google. That's what they are seeing. Isn't that so? They're on their cell phones, they're on Facebook, etc., long before the door is opened. And that's what they are seeing. And therefore, when we as educators come into the classroom with our conventional methods, you see what happens. They are turned off. So we have to change, right, our modes of delivery, constantly changing it because it's changing every day. Tomorrow it may be a different strategy from today. And as I keep saying, a generation is only 2 to 3 years. That's a generation today, a technological generation. So I think that this morning's activity here is very, very crucial. Two things, we are celebrating the life, right, of Cervantes, and not only as a well-known novelist and author, but the lessons we learned from his life. Have you ever seen a beautiful sunset without clouds? No. So Cervantes was a success in the end, but the struggles he went through. Have you ever seen a beautiful flower without dewdrops? You know what the dewdrops represent? Right. So, and this is what I'm saying here. The young ones may not understand this. So that's what we are learning from celebrating the life of Cervantes. And secondly, that we are now in a different generation. And we have to adapt our teaching styles to the changing world. And one of the most powerful tools for change here, which should bring about that knowledge, is through theater. Again, I want to thank, right, our colleagues from the embassy, our teachers who are doing really a fantastic job. I must congratulate you, right? In fact, you know, I've heard the comments from UWI that, you know, that they never realized that these things were being done at UTT. They felt that, you know, education was confined to UE and that we are way ahead of them. So I want to congratulate you and keep up the good job. And to our young ones here and our teachers, I want to again repeat that if you, the teachers who are taking care of the young ones. If you make a mistake, then all of them will be, right? We have lost generation, and we cannot afford to lose another generation of people. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, Professor Narinesingh, for giving us so many ideas to consider. And I can assure you that at the CEP, we believe in the integrated approach. We do that. And at the end of today's program, your research about Cervantes will be supplemented, and you will enjoy yourself. To deliver the feature address, I invite Doña Belén Yuste, Deputy Head of Mission-Consul, Embassy of the Kingdom of Spain.
Thank you very much. All protocols observed. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's an honor, and I really, really want to thank the University of Trinidad and Tobago, UTT, and the UTT Spanish Theater Project for having me here today. It's a privilege to represent my embassy, to represent Spain here with you. I'm sure that what we are going to see is going to be thrilling and really, really breathtaking, and I'm looking forward to it. I wanted also to give a special thanks to a person, which is Esperanza Luengo. She is a very good friend of the embassy since the embassy was born here, actually. You were before the embassy. And ever since we had the idea of commemorating the 400th anniversary of the death of Miguel de Cervantes here in Trinidad, we immediately thought of her. How could we put together the efforts of the embassy as an institution together with the effort of a teacher, together with the effort of the university and her students in trying to build this relationship that ended up here today. So thank you very much for your ideas, and thank you for bringing the university closer to the Spanish embassy and bringing the students closer to the Spanish language, which is at the end what we all aim for. Why is that we are this year celebrating the 400th anniversary of the death of Miguel de Cervantes? As the professor just said, it's not only because of his masterpiece, his well-known masterpiece, El Quijote, but also because his life itself was something spectacular, something really out of the ordinary. It's true, when we talk about the Spanish language, we always also refer to it as the la lengua de Cervantes. And why is it so important? Because around the world nowadays, almost 600 million people speak Spanish. 600 million people. That is a lot of people. And through language, we all get to know each other better, to understand each other, we open the doors. We learn to travel, we learn to communicate. So that's why we think that through this celebration of or commemoration of the death of one of the best or the most renowned author in the Spanish language, we also like to underline and highlight the importance of the Spanish language around the world. I don't know if you know that sometimes history gives us some little presents, that Cervantes died exactly the same day, the same year of William Shakespeare. Imagine, the best known authors in the Spanish language and English language died on the same day. How curious is that? Something to reflect upon. As Professor just said, through the work of Miguel de Cervantes, we also learn a lot about life. He had a tough life. He had to experience, to endure tough things. And through his work, he has given us also he has taught us many things. I really recommend you to read El Quijote. Back home in Spain, it's a mandatory reading in school. I tend to think that this is a book that we should also read when we have grown up, not only while we are in school, but also later on in our lives, because there's a lot of wisdom in the book. I'm just going to say 4 sentences that you can find at El Quijote that also summarize very well how all the wisdom that is entrenched, that is within this book. Cada uno es artífice de su propia aventura. You are the author of your own fortune. Donde una puerta se cierra, otra se abre. When one door closes, another opens. No hay más virtud que la prudencia. There is no higher virtue than prudence. And one of my favorites. El que lee mucho y anda mucho, ve mucho y sabe mucho. He who reads much and walks much, sees much and knows much. Again, thank you very much for having me here. Already, congratulations to the good work of professors, teachers, and to the students that we are going to see. Especially, I know that students have had to rehearse after exams, so it's been quite a tough time for them. Again, thank you very much for the good work. Thank you for the university for hosting this and for having me as a representative of my country. Thank you very much.
Muy bien. Y ahora el teatro. Who's ready for theater? Me. Muy bien. Muy bien. So, before we begin, there are some rules. You know what rules are? See? Do you have many rules in school? Do you have many rules at home? All right, well, we have some rules here, but I'm going to tell you what you are allowed to do. See? Escuchen. So, you are allowed to repeat. To repeat whatever you hear the characters say. See? You are allowed to sing. To sing along with the characters. Don't sing your own song, huh? Sing the song that the characters are singing. So you are allowed to sing loudly. And best of all, you are allowed to dance. See? Okay, so we're going over. Repitan, sí. Canten, sí. Bailen, sí. Muy bien. Now you have to paguen mucha atención. You have to pay very close attention to what you see, because at the end of each play, Miss Ruth, who is another Spanish lecturer, will be asking you questions. See? At the end, you definitely know the word see. All right. Now, the first play is entitled El Quijote en el Caribe. This play is based on the most popular novel written by Miguel de Cervantes. And you've heard that name all morning. Do you know anything about Cervantes? Aha, you're here in C now. What do you know about Cervantes? Anything? All right, let me see if I can help you out a little bit. Now, Cervantes was born in 1547. And he died in 1616. So he was born in 1547, and he died in 1616. I wonder if anybody can tell me, was that before or after Christopher Columbus rediscovered Trinidad? After. Muy bien. Now, Cervantes is considered one of the greatest Spanish authors. This year makes it 400 years since his death. Can you imagine 400 years have passed and people are still reading, writing, and talking about his work? Can you imagine 400 years have passed and you are sitting here and you're about to look at a play based on his work? Now, in this play, the main character is Don Quixote, and he sees adventure everywhere. How many of you like adventures? All right. We have muchos Don Quixotes. Okay. But his good friend, Sancho Panza, isn't so adventurous. All right. So in this play, Cervantes meets Shakespeare, And Shakespeare wants to know a little bit more about the work of Cervantes. So Cervantes goes on to tell him about his plays. Okay? This play was written by Dr. Esperanza Luengo, and she's, I don't know why she's doing this face, but you should stand so they can see you, because it was written by her. She is from Spain, but has been living in Trinidad for a very long time. And I want to now, we're gonna go straight to the play, right? Because I'm going to take what Professor Narinesingh said. You know, we're going to change the alpha mode. Is alpha mode, sir? Right. We're going to change it up. So I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Cervantes, Shakespeare, Don Quixote, and Sancho Panza.
Today is April 23rd of 2060, the very same day I died, 400 years ago.
¿De verdad? Yo también muero en el año 1616, pero muero el día 22 de abril. Qué interesante. El mismo mes en abril y el mismo año en 1616.
Truly interesting. Maybe that's the reason we've been placed here on this cloud together.
¿Cómo se llama usted?
My name is William. William Shakespeare. And you, sir, what would be your name?
Me llamo Miguel. Miguel de Cervantes. ¿Y de dónde es usted, señor Shakespeare?
I am from Stratford-upon-Avon in England. And you, where are you from?
Soy de Alcalá de Henares, en España. ¿Conoce usted España, señor Shakespeare?
Of course, I know Spain. Spain is that beautiful country in the south of Europe.
Sí, España es un país muy bonito. ¿Y qué profesión tiene, señor Shakespeare?
I am a writer. I love writing. Do you like writing, Mr. Cervantes?
Sí, yo también soy escritor. Me gusta mucho escribir. Escribo poesía, teatro y novelas.
I love writing poetry and dramas too. My dramas are still read by students in school after 400 years. Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth.
¡Qué interesante e increíble! Los estudiantes en las escuelas también leen mis novelas después de 400 años. Ahora todos piensan que yo soy el inventor de la novela moderna. ¿Yo? ¿El inventor de la novela moderna?
Oh, really?
Sí,
You are the inventor of the modern novel, are you?
sí.
What then is your most popular novel, sir?
Mi novela más popular es Don Quijote de la Mancha. Don Quijote es un hombre que está un poco loco, pero es muy bueno. Sí, muy, muy bueno.
Yes, I have heard of this Don Quixote and his adventures. And I would like to know more about Don Quixote.
Sí, y Sancho es muy buen amigo de Don Quijote. ¿Quiere escuchar una aventura de Don Quijote y su amigo Sancho?
Yes, I would like to see Don Quixote and his friend Sancho in action. But where on this cloud are we today? Are we in England? Are we in Spain? Or in the Caribbean? Let's ask those people over there.
Escuchen, amigos. ¿Dónde estamos? ¿Estamos en España, Inglaterra o en el Caribe?
En el Caribe. You see, we're in the Caribbean. But where in the Caribbean are we?
¿En qué parte del Caribe? ¿Jamaica? ¿O Trinidad? ¿O Barbados?
Trinidad.
¡Excelente! Estamos en Trinidad.
Yes, Mr. Cervantes. I would like to see Don Quixote and his friend Sancho in action, right here in Trinidad. Maybe this would let us understand these characters much better.
Muy buena idea, señor Shakespeare. Veo que es usted un escritor. Escuchen, estudiantes. Cierren los ojos. Imaginen a Don Quijote en su caballo y Sancho en su burro por la playa de Manzanillo. Escuchen el mar y el caballo y el burro.
Mucho calor y viento hoy en esta playa de Manzanilla.
Sí, amigo Sancho, hoy hace mucho calor y viento en esa playa de Manzanilla.
Mi señor Don Quijote, tengo mucha hambre y mi burro también quiere comer. Podemos parar y comer un poco de roti.
Roti, espera Sancho, espera. Mira ahí, mira, ¿ves esos gigantes?
¿Gigantes? ¿Dónde? No veo nada.
Sí, gigantes. Hay 3 o 4 horribles gigantes.
No veo los gigantes.
Sí, necesitamos luchar contra ellos para cuidar la isla de Trinidad y especialmente mi novia, Dulcinea de San Fernando.
Sí, Don Quijote. Está bien cuidar la isla de Trinidad y a su amada Dulcinea de San Fernando, pero ¿dónde están los gigantes? No veo los gigantes. Yo veo solo palmeras.
gigantes tienen los brazos largos y los ojos verdes y grandes como un melón.
Mi señor Don Quijote, aquellos no son gigantes, son bonitas palmeras. Y esos no son brazos, sino ramas. Y esos no son ojos, sino cocos verdes.
Tú no entiendes de aventura, mi amigo Sancho. Son enormes gigantes. Pero si tú tienes miedo, vete, Sancho. Yo voy a luchar contra los gigantes.
Mi señor Don Quijote, yo no tengo miedo. Es que no veo los gigantes.
Adiós, Sancho, adiós. Yo voy a luchar contra ellos.
Ay, espere, Don Quijote. Por favor, pregunte a los turistas. Escuchen, turistas. ¿Qué son esos? ¿Son gigantes o son palmeras?
Son palmeras, son palmeras.
Palmeras gigantes, gigantes palmeras, palmeras gigantes, gigantes palmeras.
No, son gigantes, gigantes.
Ay, cuidado, Don Quijote. Cuidado, son palmeras, son palmeras.
Fuera, gigantes, fuera.
Dios mío, mi señor Don Quijote, ¿está bien? Ya le dije que no son gigantes, son palmeras y cocos.
Silencio, Sancho, silencio.
Dios le ayude.
My dear Mr. Cervantes, I do love this Don Quixote. He is quite a brave man. He was willing to fight giants and bandits to protect the island and its people. Isn't that what we need today in Trinidad? Brave and generous Quixotes?
Sí, señor Shakespeare, sí. Necesitamos personas valientes y generosas. Sí, necesitamos Quijotes también en el Caribe.
Quijote, Caribe, Caribe, Quijote, Quijote, Caribe, Caribe, Quijote, Quijote, Caribe, Caribe, Quijote.
Adelante. Sí, pasa, siéntate, por favor. Dime, ¿qué pasa?
Doctor, no me siento bien. Toso, estornudo, cabeza, me duele el estómago, me duele la espalda y tengo náusea.
¿Te duele la cabeza? ¿Te duele el estómago? ¿Te duele la espalda? ¿Y tienes náuseas?
Sí, doctor.
¿Tienes frío y diarrea?
Tengo frío y diarrea. Tengo que llevar esta chaqueta y voy al baño mucho.
A ver, toses y estornudas. ¿Te duele la cabeza? ¿Te duele el estómago? ¿Te duele la espalda? ¿Y tienes náuseas, frío, fiebre y diarrea? Vamos a hacer la prueba.
Mi cabeza, doctor.
Sí, un momento.
Oh. Mi espalda. Oh. Mi cabeza.
¡Oh, Dios mío! ¡Ay, no!
Oh.
Sí, señor, es la gripe porcina o la swine flu en inglés. Toma esta medicina y descansa mucho, ¿sí?
Gracias, señor doctor. Tomo la medicina y descanso mucho. Gracias, adiós.
Adiós. Hola. Hola, sí, es el Ministerio de Salud. Sí, quiero informarles que tengo otro caso de la gripe porcina o la swine flu en inglés. Sí, es el caso número 7. Sí, ahora hay 7 personas con la gripe porcina en Trinidad. Sí, gracias. Ah.
Dios mío, Sakina, ven acá. Sakina.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa?
¿Qué pasa, papá? Escuchen mi familia. Hay 7 personas en Trinidad tienen la gripe porcina. 7 personas con la gripe porcina.
Se dice swine flu en inglés.
Sí, pero papá, ¿qué es la gripe porcina swine flu en inglés? Es un virus que pasa de una persona infectada a otra persona cuando estornuda o tose. Sí. Pero mamá y papá, ¿podemos coger la gripe porcina o la swine flu en inglés? Me gusta el cerdo.
No, Aquila. No podemos coger la gripe porcina de comer cerdo. Es un virus que pasa de una persona cuando... Perdón. Que pasa de una persona infectada a otra persona cuando estornuda o tose.
¿Qué pasa cuando tienes la gripe porcina?
Te duele la cabeza, te duele el estómago, te duele la espalda, tienes náuseas, fiebre y diarrea.
Sí, sí. Te duele la cabeza, te duele el estómago, te duele la espalda, tienes náuseas, fiebre y diarrea. A veces puedes morir.
¿Morir? Tengo miedo, no me gusta la gripe
Aquila.
porcina, mamá. No quiero la gripe porcina, papá. ¿Cómo podemos prevenir la gripe porcina?
Primero hay que lavarse las manos con agua y jabón muchas veces.
Sí. Segundo, hay que cubrirse la nariz y la boca con la tela o la máscara.
Tercero, y para más protección, puedes tomar la vacuna. ¿Sí?
Tenemos que ir al doctor para una vacuna.
Sí, tenemos que ir a la doctora para la vacuna. Vamos la familia. Vamos aquí.
Buenos días, ¿cómo puedo ayudarles?
Buenos días, doctora. Queremos la vacuna para la gripe porcina, por favor.
Se dice swine flu en inglés.
Muy bien.
La vacuna, ¿sí? Es la vacuna.
Relájate.
Relájate.
Levanta la manga de la camisa.
Al fuerte, muy valiente.
Relájate.
Relájate.
¡Ay! Muy bien.
Aquila es la vacuna. Es
fuerte.
valiente.
Aquila.
No.
Vamos, Aquila.
Relájate, Aquila. Aquila.
Hija, no hay problema. Relájate. Relájate. No hay problema. Muy bien.
Relájate, Aquila. Relájate.
Levanta la manga de la camisa. Bien. Relájate, hija. ¡Ay! ¡Excelente!
Muy bien, Aquila. Muy bien.
Relájate. Sí, hija, el fuerte y valiente. Ruge.
Muy bien.
Relájate.
Relájate.
Muy bien.
Relájate, doctora.
Relájate. Muy bien. Levanta la manga de la camisa.
Relájate.
Shakira. ¿Qué pasa? Relájate, por favor.
Sí.
¡Ay, cónchale! Muy bien. ¿Sí? ¿No hay problema?
Sí.
El fuerte.
Escuchen, es muy importante lavarse las manos con agua y jabón. ¿Sí?
Sí.
¿Comprenden?
Sí,
doctora.
Lávense las manos con agua y jabón muchas veces. Adiós.
Mamá, papá, estoy feliz porque tenemos la vacuna o la swine flu.
Sí, hija. La doctora dice que es muy importante. hay que lavarse las manos con agua y jabón muchas veces para prevenir la gripe porcina o la swine flu en inglés. ¿Sí?
Sí, sí. Vamos, vamos familia.
Ah, así tenemos una canción para nuestra familia. ¿Sí?
Sí.
Con agua y jabón, con agua y jabón, lávense las manos con agua y jabón. La gripe porcina no, la gripe porcina no. Lávense las manos con agua y jabón. La swine flu no, la swine flu no. Lávense las manos con agua y jabón, con agua y jabón, con agua y jabón. Lávense las manos con agua y jabón. La gripe porcina no, la gripe porcina no. Lávense las manos con agua y jabón. La swine flu no, la swine flu no. Lávense las manos con agua y jabón.
El secreto, bueno o malo. Naila vive con su tío y tía. Ella tiene 10 años y va a una escuela primaria en San Fernando. A Naila le gusta mucho la escuela, pero a ella no le gusta la casa. ¿Por qué? Vamos a ver. Mire y escuche. Hombre.
Buenos días, tía.
Hola, Karina. ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Te sientes mejor?
Sí, un poquito mejor. Tengo clase de música hoy. Me encanta la música.
Siéntate ya. Siéntate. Tienes que comer agua antes de ir a la escuela.
No tengo mucha hambre, tía. Solo quiero el cereal y la leche, nada más.
Claro, chica. Aquí. Come. Ahí. Come. Ay, te ves demasiado delgada. Come. Voy a bañarme. Come. Come. Muy bien.
Perdón, voy a la escuela ahora.
No, Naila. Tienes que comer más. Te ves demasiado delgada. Son las 7:30. Hay tiempo para comer y hablar, ¿sí? ¿Sí?
Sí, tío.
Siéntate y come más. Siéntate. No, Naila. Siéntate. Aquí. Venga. Siéntate aquí, Naila. Siéntate aquí. ¿Sabes que solo los amigos, sí?
Sí, tío.
Solo los amigos tienen secretos. Come. ¿Necesitas dinero para la escuela? Aquí, toma, $10.
No, gracias, tío. No quiero dinero.
Naila, es un regalo, tómalo. Los buenos amigos tienen muchos secretos, ¿sí?
Ah, ok, tío. Es de la hora de salir. Me voy ahora. Adiós.
Esperen. Un abrazo antes de ir. Para mí. Venga. Venga. Te amo, Naila. Es nuestro secreto, ¿sí?
Sí, tío.
Hasta pronto.
En la escuela, Naila está feliz. Habla con sus amigos y juega con la pelota. Su mejor amiga, Kisha, habla con ella en voz baja.
Naila, 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 Naila. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, bien. ¿Por qué me preguntas?
Sí, sí. Escucha, tengo algo que decirte, pero es un secreto. Shh.
¿Un secreto?
Sí, sí, un secreto. No puedes decirlo a nadie, nadie, nadie.
No me gustan los secretos, Kisha.
Naila, escucha. Vamos a hacer una fiesta para el cumpleaños de María.
¿Una fiesta?
Sí, sí, es una sorpresa para de María. No lo digas a nadie. Es nuestro secreto. Shh.
¿La fiesta es un secreto?
Sí, amiga, es una sorpresa para de María.
Ok, estoy muy bien con los secretos. No te preocupes.
Chévere, la fiesta es este domingo a las 3. Tiene que venir.
Sí, sí, pero es un secreto. 8 secretos. Shh. ¿Por qué? Tengo muchos secretos. No puedo hablar a nadie. Todo es un secreto. Shh. ¿Por qué? No me gustan los secretos. No me gustan los secretos.
En la clase, la profesora habla de los secretos. Sí, más secretos. Naila tiene muchos secretos. Vamos a ver qué es un secreto. Miren y escuchen con atención.
Escuchen y miren, niños. Vamos a hablar de los secretos hoy. Los secretos. ¿Qué es un secreto? ¿Saben ustedes?
No me gustan los secretos. No me gustan los secretos.
Profesora,
Sí.
un secreto es algo que
no puedes decir a nadie.
Ah, ok. ¿Y los secretos son buenos o malos?
Muy buenos, su secreto es fantástico.
Muy bien, Kisha. Sí, es un secreto bueno. Por ejemplo, si tu mamá va a tener un bebé, es un secreto muy bueno, ¿no?
Mi mamá va a tener un bebé.
¡Qué bien, María! Pero es un secreto malo también. Estos secretos no son buenos. Sí, es un secreto malo. Tienes que decirlo a un adulto. ¿Sí?
Pero, señora, ¿cómo sabía si es un secreto bueno o un secreto malo?
Buena pregunta, Kisha. Escuchen, estudiantes, escuchen. Es un secreto bueno, te hace sentir feliz. Pero es un secreto malo, te hace sentir muy triste, ¿sí?
Sí.
¿Sí?
Sí.
Bien. Entonces, ¿tienen ustedes secretos? ¿Son secretos buenos o malos?
Mi secreto es bueno porque me hace sentir emocionada y feliz.
Bien, Kisha. Sí, tiene secretos malos también. Dilo a un adulto. Repitan.
Dilo a un adulto.
Repitan.
Dilo a un adulto.
Muy bien.
Naila, ¿qué te pasa, cariño? ¿Por qué lloras? ¿Hay un problema, Naila?
Dime.
Tengo muchos secretos, profesora, muchos secretos.
¿Muchos secretos? ¿Y los secretos son buenos o malos?
Tengo que bueno. Que me hace sentir feliz. Es una fiesta sorpresa para María.
Ah, es un secreto muy bueno, ¿no?
Sí,
Hay un problema, chica.
pero un secreto malo también que me hace sentir muy triste. El secreto malo me hace llorar.
¿Es un secreto malo? Chica, ¿puede decirme, Naila? ¿Yo puedo ayudar? Dime. Dios mío, Naila. Oh, Dios mío, lo siento, Naila. Lo siento, Naila. Gracias por decirme, Naila. Es un secreto muy malo. Vamos a la policía, ¿sí? Sí, vamos. ¡Policía!
Sí. ¿Cómo?
Sí.
Oh, Naila, lo siento. ¿Es el tío?
Sí.
¿Es el tío?
Sí.
Estudiantes, ¿es el tío?
Sí.
Ah. ¿Es usted el tío?
Sí.
¿Qué pasa? Los secretos malos. ¿Es usted el tío?
Naila.
Ven.
Naila, ¿qué pasa, Naila?
No secretos malos.
Naila, te amo,
No
Naila. Te
secretos
amo, Naila.
malos.
Naila.
Estudiantes, escuchen. Hay los secretos buenos y los secretos malos. Los secretos buenos te hacen sentir feliz. Los secretos malos te hacen triste. En Trinidad y Tobago hay el Children's Authority. Children's Authority para proteger los niños. Si tienes los secretos malos,
puedes llamar Children's Authority por 996.
Repitan.
Por teléfono 996. Repitan.
996.
Sí.
Repitan.
996.
Sí.
Si tienes un secreto malo, llama 996.
Sí.
Sí.
Muy bien.
Repitan, estudiantes.
996.
Muy bien, estudiantes, muy bien.
Muy bien.
¿Jugar con mis amigos? ¿Mono y pájaro?
Sí, puedes, pero no te vayas demasiado lejos, mi bebé león.
Ok, gracias, mamá. Hola, mis amigos, ¿cómo están?
Hola, León. Estamos emocionados. Queremos una aventura. ¿Y tú cómo estás, León?
Estoy emocionado también. Mi mamá dice que puedo ir a jugar.
Ah, amigos, ¿quieren jugar en la selva?
Sí, vamos a jugar en la selva.
A la selva. A la selva.
Vamos, vámonos, todos vámonos, venga a hacerlo, lo podemos hacer. Vamos, vámonos, todos vámonos, venga a hacerlo, lo podemos hacer.
¿A dónde vamos? Sí, vamos a la selva, a la selva, a la selva.
Miren, miren, amigos. Hay 4 pájaros en el árbol. ¿Sí?
Sí. 1, 2, 3, 4 pájaros en el árbol. Hola, pájaros. Hola.
¿Ven los pájaros? Sí. ¿Cuántos pájaros? ¿Cuántos?
4.
Ah, excelente. 1,
2,
3.
4.
Ay, muy bien. Hay 4 pájaros en el árbol.
Vamos, vámonos, todos vámonos, venga a hacerlo, lo podemos hacer. Vamos, vámonos, todos vámonos, venga a hacerlo, lo podemos hacer.
¿A dónde vamos? Vamos al río.
Al río. Al río.
Miren, miren. Hay 3 tortugas en el río. Sí. 1, 2, 3 tortugas. Amigos, amigos, miren, miren. Hay 2 conejos en la hierba. Sí. 1, 2 conejos en la hierba. Hola, conejos.
Hola, hola.
¿Ven los conejos? Sí. ¿Sí? ¿Cuántos conejos? 2. Muy bien. 1, 2. Hay 2 conejos en la hierba.
Vámonos, todos vámonos. Venga a hacerlo, lo podemos hacer. Vamos, vámonos, todos vámonos. Venga a hacerlo, lo podemos hacer. Vamos, vámonos, todos vámonos. Venga a hacerlo, lo podemos hacer.
¿A dónde vamos? Vamos a la hierba, a la hierba, a la hierba. Miren, miren. Hay una serpiente en la hierba. Sí, una serpiente en la hierba. Hola, serpiente. Hola. ¿Ven la serpiente? ¿Sí? 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 Sí. ¿Cuántas serpientes? Una. Hay una serpiente en la hierba.
demasiado lejos, mi bebé león.
No sé dónde estamos. Tengo miedo.
¡Quiero llorar! ¡Llorar! Tengo miedo también. Miedo también.
Ay, esta tarde ¿Dónde está mi bebé? Tengo que buscar a mi hijo. ¿Dónde está mi bebé? ¿Dónde está mi bebé? ¿Dónde está mi bebé?
Está oscuro. Los otros animales en la selva van a comerme, van a comerme, van a comerme.
León, eres león. Eres valiente. Tienes que rugir.
Sí, sí, debes protegernos. Protegernos. Eres valiente. Ruge, 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 bebé león. Pero soy bebé león. No puedo rugir así. Eres fuerte y valiente. Ruge, ruge, ruge. Eres fuerte y valiente. Ruge, ruge, ruge. Más fuerte, más fuerte. Mi mamá, ¿dónde está? ¿Dónde está mi bebé? ¿Dónde está? Mi mamá.
fútbol?
Bien, juguemos, juguemos.
Miguel. Raquel. Vamos, vamos. Vamos, vamos. Raquel, Teresa, ¿quieren un bocadillo?
Sí, por favor. Gracias. ¿Un bocadillo? ¿Sí? ¿Sí? Raquel, Miguel, ¿quieren un chocolate? Sí, por favor.
Gracias.
Chocolate. ¿Chocolate? Sí. ¿Chocolate? ¿No? Me gusta
Ah, los niños. Los niños tienen toda la comida que me gusta. Voy a comer y jugar con ellos. ¡Dame tu comida! ¿Por qué se van? ¿Por qué se van? Solo quiero comer y jugar con ellos. ¿Por qué se van?
Amigos, Miguel, Teresa, ¿vamos a jugar al agarrar la pelota? Bien, juguemos, juguemos.
Raquel, Teresa, ¿quieren una manzana?
Sí, por favor.
Gracias.
Gracias. Raquel, Miguel, ¿quieren un jugo de naranja?
Sí, por favor. Gracias. Gracias. Los niños tienen toda la comida que me gusta. Voy a comer y jugar con ellos. ¡Dame tu pelota! ¿Por qué se van? ¿Por qué se van? ¿Por qué se van? Solo quiero comer y jugar con ellos.
Amigos, Miguel, Teresa, vamos. Cada vez que jugamos y compartimos la comida, viene el Monstruo Blu. El Monstruo Blu. Y nos roba la comida y tenemos que correr a casa. Esta vez, vamos a hacer un plan. Sí, buena idea. Blue tiene que decir, por favor.
Y gracias.
Sí, muy bien. Y cuando te dan, tienes que decir, gracias. Raquel, Miguel, vamos a jugar al cricket.
Bien.
Juguemos.
Teresa, ¿quieren una banana?
Sí, por favor.
Miguel.
Gracias.
¿Banana? Raquel, Miguel, ¿quieren un jugo de piña?
Sí, por favor.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Un plan. Un plan.
Niños, los niños. Los niños, toda la comida tienen toda la comida que me gusta. ¡Dame tu comida! ¡Dame tu comida!
Si quieres algo, tienes que decir.
Por favor.
Sí, sí, sí. Y cuando te dan, tienes que decir...
Gracias.
Gracias, Blue.
No sabía. No sabía. Voy a practicar. ¿Puedes darme una banana? Por favor.
Sí, claro.
Gracias.
¿Y quieres un jugo de piña?
Sí. Gracias. Gracias. Gracias.
Muy bien. ¿Y quieres jugar al cricket?
Sí, sí. Gracias. Gracias.
Bien.
Ahora puedes comer y jugar con nosotros.
Gracias. Gracias. Sí, sí. Si quieres algo, di, por favor. Y cuando te dan, di, gracias. Si quieres algo, di, por favor. Y cuando te dan, di, gracias.
Si quieres algo, di, por favor. Y cuando te dan, di, gracias. Si quieres algo, di, por favor. Y cuando te dan, di, gracias.
Muy bien. Muy bien.
Si quieres algo, di, por favor. Di, por favor. Cuando te dan, di, gracias. Di,
But it's our pleasure to have finally come to SAPA and done this performance for you. We really hope that you enjoyed it. And it will be remiss of us to not thank all these people who have been involved in the creation of this production. So I'd like to thank, first of all, we have to give God the Almighty thanks for giving us the strength, patience, perseverance to actually have this realized. Then we'd like to thank the Spanish Embassy for all its support on this production, and to Doña Belén Yuste Rojas, the Deputy Head of Mission, for her attendance today and for her remarks. We'd like to also thank Ms. Gail Bernard, Ms. Alicia Gordon, and Mrs. Mirella Sambucharan Mohammed from the Curriculum Officers of Modern Languages from the Ministry of Education for their attendance today. The UTT Board, the Chairman, the President of the Board, Ms. Dr. Narinesingh, Professor Narinesingh, as well as our Head of the Center for Education Programs, Dr. Vashti Singh, Assistant Professor, Head of the Program, for their attendance and for their support, their unending support. To Dr. Francisca Allard, our Head of our department, thank you for the support too. I think she's still here, is she? Oh, she left? Okay. Then support from the personnel from Corporate Communications. Janelle Nicholas Peters has been, well, she's outside right now, but she's been a great supporter over the past 3 months trying to get this production realized. To Mrs. Carla Thompson, she's not here, she's in Valsine. She's the secretary to Dr. Vashti Singh, but she has been our backbone, our everything throughout this entire experience. She's been everything you see here, from the gifts, the tokens we've given to you, the transportation we got, everything has had Carla's input. So we really have to give really heartfelt thanks to Carla for all her support. It's unfortunate she's not here, but we thank her very much. To Mr. Kuhlman and Mr. Ramesh Jairam, they are the people who are in charge of the facilities here. Thank you very much. You've given us a lot of support, suggestions, and you facilitated us. And of course, we benefited from the warm southern hospitality. We northerners. To Mr. Marvin Ishmael, he's a member of the Academy of Performing Arts, that section of UTT. He's come to give us some support in acting and the whole theater experience, because we are just lecturers. We don't have experience with theater, so he gave us some support there, and we'd like to thank him. He's not here, I think he's in Canada now, but we thank him for his support. Mr. Katsunari Imai, who's here for sound, thank you very much. And of course, our very own Chanini Ramkissoon, our student, thank you very much for the lighting. And for the creation of the plays too. To the members of the media, if you have come, thank you very much. And last and not least, our inspiration to the children and teachers who came to support us here, the schools who attended today. You are what move us in the Spanish department to create these productions. You are our inspiration, our motivation. And when we have difficulties and when we have challenges, we think about you and you push us forward. Even though we don't deal with you directly all the time, you push us forward to try to continue with this production. We sincerely hope that we have not left out anybody. But if we have, it's not because we wanted to. It's that we just couldn't remember everybody at the same time. Right. So thank you very much. We really appreciate your attendance. We know it's been a long day for you, for some of you, but thank you very much for your attendance. We do appreciate it. Thank you. And there is refreshments available for all who have attended. It's at the exit. As you exit the room, you'll have refreshments available to you. So thank you again. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, de verdad. Muchas gracias. Okay.